Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. Welcome everyone to Sometime in October 1982.
Here we are.
Doesn't that song make you want to cuddle up and play some video games? Welcome to the last game we were playing on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum, the very first time you could have played a game based on the movie Time Bandits. Let's press forward and see what our next game is. We're bouncing all over the world and playing every single video game in order of release. All these video games we couldn't pin down the exact release date for. Our very next one is very fitting. We almost should call the channel this title. This is Time Runner for the Atari home computer. Let's check it out. Here's the box for Time Runner. We didn't get a super high quality version of it, but this front of the box is actually explaining what the game is. It has a little bit, yeah, it sounds familiar, like we should have seen this before, but we haven't seen this game. This is by Funsoft and Yves L'Empereur, if I'm sure I'm not mispronouncing that name, so forgive me. But this is the fifth game that Funsoft has done and delivered to us, and most of them have been okay. They've been all right games. So let's see what this one's all about. Time Runner looks like a fun romp. There we go. The advertisement flyer is a little bit cleared up. It's available for a few other systems. We're going to see it on two versions that were available here in 1982, and then there's going to be some next year, I think in 1983 on the Commodore 64, because as the law states, every video game has to be released for the Commodore 64. It's already coming out now. We're seeing just way too many games for the Commodore 64. Warning! This game requires strategy as well as fast reflexes. Yeah, we got both of those here. Oh, really? You saw some of these? That's awesome. All right, so we also have just an example of the screenshot, but that's just about it. This home computer, the 400 or the 800, we played a ton and a ton of games for it. This is our 382nd game for the Atari home computer. Let's go. This is by Yves L'Empereur and Funsoft, released at sometime in October 1982. Let's get right into it. Nice. That was almost borderline shocking, like Atari releases, but then it was also a little bit goofy, like we're going to the circus. All right, I'm going to try a few of the options. Do we have an option button? No. Do we have a select button? No, there is no options. It's just go. Push start, and we're in. Nice, crisp. Oh, look at this. So I'm at the bottom of the screen playing as the green blob, and it is a grid capture style game. More specifically, it's a variant of Amadar. Move around the grid, click up a bunch of the dots, and then, oh, I do have a button. Nice. The button gives me what they could refer to as jump, and it temporarily makes all the enemies invulnerable. Awesome. All right, so you just make your way around. Easy. Oh, if you die, though, it looks like you disapparate. But clear it all away. Going from grid to grid. And we've seen this animation before. Where have I seen this face before? Notice that whenever I move around, the character I'm playing just moves their eyes a little bit. And we got a little music too. Nice. This is good. It's got polish. Very quaint. So the game over... Yeah, you can tell that Yves spent a good bit of time on this one. A lot of the games we've seen by Funsoft had been on the TRS-80, so I believe this is one of the first times we've seen this company or this programmer dive into the Atari home computer. Very, very nice. This is kind of what it looks like, Manly. They should have changed the game to Cucumber versus Nuts. It would have been a hit. At least we'll stick to Nuts for right now. Yeah, thanks for keeping the high score. I appreciate it. It didn't let me put anything in. We've seen a few games for home computers that are really tapping into making it feel like you're in the arcade, where you can put in a high score, but it didn't let us do that. But still, this is very, very well done. If you enjoy Amadar, it works and plays great. This one marks our 10th game we've played that is like Amadar or a variant of Amadar. 10 other games across all platforms, so it's still fairly fresh, kind of a new idea. It's not being hammered to death like the hundreds of Pac-Man style games we played. This temporary little jump I have, it doesn't last very long. It only goes for just a little bit, and then the enemies just pop right up. I do get 3, but I don't know. Look at that. I already ran out of my jumps. But every time you die, you get 3 more. So let's go. Oh, but if you touch any point or any pixel of the enemies, then you're done. That's it. So I know what this reminds me of. The character reminds me of the same kind of blobby character we played in another one by Eves, which was Babel Terror. The animation, at least, the way that the character moves around feels a little bit like that. This was also released as Blade Runner in Italy, but it was like an unauthorized port of it. So sadly, I don't have that game, so we can't play a game called Blade Runner. And it's not even based on the movie Blade Runner anyway, so we're not missing out. There's so many games that are out there, and the more and more that I do this show and discover video games, the more I learn how many games have been lost to time. So I want to clear a whole board and see how different the other rounds are, because if this is it, and there's no other levels after this, then it has good polish, but it just doesn't have a lot of longevity. Let's go clear them out. 3 jumps all the way. We can do it. I'm looking for the artificial intelligence too, and I'm not seeing... It looks a little random. Not that they're following me completely. But control's pretty simple. You play on the grid. And for arcade-style games, feels pretty good. There's my last jump. We got to finish this up. Go! And we get a victory sound. Very nice. At this point, the best games you could be playing for... Oh, it is change up. Look, now we get points. Now we go. Here we go. This looks even more like Amadar. With these kind of games now, I want to see how far we can go, how much we can see if there's other levels after this. Yeah, right? This is very similar to the second level of Amadar. And it's all counting down. Wow, they got so many calculations happening at once. And the enemies, the nuts around the outside, have changed shape too. Let's see if we can get there. Get out of the way. Nope. Yikes. That was a close one. Yeah, all the point values go down, and then you lose points if you're not fast enough. But after 3 lives, it's game over. That's it. And you go to the next one. I love it. Pickle Amadar. Amadar? Whatever your flavor of pickle. So Time Runner, the front of the box has a person on the front running around. I'm definitely not a person. I am a green blob. A pickle. Or a booger. Just making my way around town. Yeah, very well done clone. I really wasn't impressed with Amadar when we saw it in the arcade, so this is very, very good home port. Oh, did I just speed up? Oh, I see. Some of the ways you move, how fast you move, is dependent upon what the enemies are doing. So whenever I jump and all the enemies fall like that or stop moving, I actually speed up just a little bit. We've seen kind of things like that before. Awesome. Well, I want to keep playing and see more levels, so lasting appeal works pretty well. In a year when arcade ports and action-packed games are dominating the scene, Time Runner is a refreshing addition to the Atari 800 library. It's fast-paced gameplay, has a couple polished graphics and sound, making a must-play for fans of Amadar and grid capture games. It doesn't really revolutionize gaming, but it offers a solid, enjoyable experience, and it's sure to keep players coming back for more. I would say for Time Runner, if you want to play the best right now, you need to play Jeepers Creepers, which is available for the Atari. That one blows this one out of the park. There's some other really good ones, or other ones we have played in the past, like Kid Grid or Boxer Rebellion for IBM PCs, but I would place this one right down the middle. It's a solid game. It's just minimal gameplay, very good arcade port, but 3 stars all the way. Looking over in the chat, I do see some people hopping up to 3.5 stars. Slightly better than average. Very, very nice. All right, so after an average kind of game, let's see what our next title is. It's the next port of Time Runner for the TRS-80. Let's see how it was when we play the computer that Eves is used to programming for. There you go, Funsoft. Say in front of the box, they present Time Runner. We look nothing like that. And, oh, they're supposed to be aliens. That makes sense now. Yeah, so I see some 3.5s over there too. Very nice. There's the advertisement flyer. And then, oh, No color because we're on the TRS-80, or at least monochrome. Let's play some Time Runner. Again by Yves Lempereur, published by Funsoft at some time in October 1982. All right, so for this one, I think it's just Runner will get us going. This marks our 129th game we've played for the TRS-80, Model 1 or Model 3. Oh, he does kind of like, whoa. That's what I'm used to hearing and seeing on the TRS-80. And this is more like some of the other titles we've seen by Funsoft up to this point. All right, so this one's the 6th game that Funsoft has done. And when we say the 6th, we're counting all the ports. So everything that Funsoft has ever done, even if it's the same game, you know, 4 times. Babel Terror is one of the other ones that we mentioned previously. All right, so this one is a joystick, but we do have spacebar for instructions. Oh, and something else interesting. On the Atari, when I tried to do 2 players, it wouldn't let us do 2. It was a single player only game. This one does 1 or 2 players, but this one's hot seat style, like in the arcade. So let's do spacebar for instructions. Capture territory, tracing over rectangles. Careful, roaming defenders are out to get you. Move as fast as possible to get maximum points. Good luck. Move left, move right. So we got the controls on the keyboard, and we do have high scores. They keep it on here. Very nice. Now, to my knowledge, the Atari home computer came out first. I believe, and what's surprising is I think this one really should have come out first because most of the other titles by Funsoft were here first on the TRS-80 or only on the TRS-80. All right, so I'm going to do a 1-player game. If we do 2-player, it really doesn't matter. You take turns anyway. So I'm going to push number 1. And let's see if our joystick works. Yes, it does. Oh my gosh, the character looks just like the character in Babel Terror. So not nearly as fast as the Atari, but it still has the appeal of playing like an Amador game. I want to see if we can make it to the next levels, but this is moving considerably slower than it was on the Atari. Do I have... Where's my jump? It does jump. It doesn't make any sound, though. It's just silently all the enemies fall down, like a pratfall. There we go. Oh, really? I'm sorry about that, Chiptune. We must blame the Twitchers. Going there. It feels also so silent compared to the Atari. We had some music or sounds going in, but to tell you the truth, I still love the TRS-80. It's still a great computer, lots of fun games to play on it. As we very carefully make our way around. The reason I compared this to one of the best Amador variants you could play, Jeepers Creepers, is because it is doing something better than Amador, which I've found that really refreshing, where home computers are giving us arcade-style games, but they're doing it better than the arcades. That's why Jeepers Creepers was so good compared to all these others. Look at the other characters you can barely distinguish because we're getting ultra flicker right now. Oh, I gotta remember my jump. That's right. Okay, how many lives do I have? It's still only calling this phase 1. Okay, let's be a little smart. Watch their patterns. See if they follow us. And I think I had a little bit more time to maneuver when they went down whenever I jumped. Also, the jump doesn't seem as effective. In other games, we actually jump up over enemies. But here, the jump is just immobilizing enemies. That's all it does. Oh, it did have sound, though. TRS-80 playing that is really, really nice. And it does do the second level, similar to Amador or the other Time Runner. Awesome. So here you go, the 11th game that plays very similar to Amador. Wow, that's coming from the TRS-80? How did they do that? Okay, someone in the chat needs to explain that one, because I believe that's some of the best music we've ever heard on the TRS-80. Really, that sounded like it was another computer playing the music while I was doing the gameplay. It didn't sound right. All right, so here we go. Let's put in our high score. You couldn't put the high score in on the Atari. Yes, it is capable, but a lot of times it's going to be using a lot of processing power to get that music out there. Yeah, that's true. I could have run this on the Model 3 if I wanted to. I still enjoy the Model 1 though. It's really fun. All right, so we have seen at least 2 levels. We know there's others that could be played out there, but still a very fun time. I'd still say of all the games you could play, this is still fairly average for all the titles that you could play at this point. And of course, I would give the nod to the Atari version, a little bit faster, but this one's still playing with the joystick, which is really nice. So cool. And we're going to see next year on the Commodore 64, this version, everything will be released on Commodore 64. By 1983, by law, all video games have to have a port on the Commodore 64. We're going to see so many Commodore 64 games. Oh, man. Yeah, so I can see this one will be rated just slightly lower. Just the slower gameplay. But honestly, I'm going to say because the sound, I'm going to give it the same. I'm gonna rate this the same and still just give it the nudge for the Atari. 3 stars for Time Runner on the TRS-80. It's still great. The music was just very scary how good it was. For the TRS-80, I'm amazed. Yes, right? Yeah, quality in different places too. And you can tell that they really wanted to polish this and make it a good one. So there you go. That's Time Runner. For the first 2 computers, you can get ports for it. Let's press forward to see what our next game is. Ah, yes. Our next release takes us across the pond to play on our Sinclair ZX81. This is the Tomb of Dracula, and the reason why the Count is here himself is because this is the very first video game with the word Dracula in the title. Now, it could be contested that we played a handheld called Dracula Majo, which could have been the first game, but because of release dates, not knowing for sure, I actually want to give this game as the first, the nod of being the first video game with Dracula in the title. This one is our 78th game for the ZX81. Here's the box for the Tomb of Dracula. And the reason why they put Dracula front and center is because that's what he looks like in the game, exactly like that. Like it almost is like jump scares in your face, if you can make it that far. It is. So here you go, the cassette tape for the Tomb of Dracula. You only need 16K on your ZX81 to play this one. We still haven't seen anything push RAM for home computers yet. There's been nothing over 64K of RAM so far, at least at this point in October 1982. So it had an original box. This one, I believe, is a later release, but the first box looked like this one, a little bit smaller. It's calling it 3D Horror Adventure Game. Enter Dracula's tomb, 30 minutes to sunset. Wander through the tomb, pre-mapped 300 vaults. That's right. Yeah, and when they blow things up that big, it reminds me of 3D Monster Maze. They're calling this the horror video game because it's October. So we have a few instructions here, but I actually have instructions with a little higher quality that we can read too. I love it. You think it's going to be text only, but it is not all text. So here we go. Here's the Tomb of Dracula. You enter level 1 of Dracula's tomb, 30 minutes to sunset, armed with 7 valuable silver stakes. There are 300 vaults in level 1 of the tomb. Most of them are empty, but some contain more silver stakes to add to your wealth. There's some vaults that contain ghouls or zombies. You have to use some of your silver stakes to kill one of these when you meet them. Other vaults contain pits of primeval slime. You will need stakes to dig yourself out of one of these. There are also mystery vaults. These can hold a store of silver stakes, or they may contain something nasty. You won't know till you're inside. So this breaks down the game on how the game is played. After 30 minutes or 30 moves, the sun will set and Dracula will be awake, and then he'll start positioning himself in a vault next to the one you're currently occupying. If you move into that vault, you'll have to use stakes to kill him. So if you don't have any stakes, you're out of luck. You're going to die. Each time you kill him, he'll rise again. By your next move, you'll position to the next. So he's going to continue to move in different places after that, or following you around in the maze. So it explains how to play and how to move around. It explains what the map means. Our position is represented by an asterisk. An empty vault is a slash, and you can see what the stakes represent. Z's for zombies, G for ghouls, and so forth. And I'm not going to read this manual in its entirety, but it does have a little bit of complexity, and it reminds me of some other adventure-style games we've played that have like a sprinkling of role-playing elements or adventure elements there, but not quite an adventure or role-playing game. It also explains that we can save a game in progress. So as we go through the vault, I think you have to wait. Yeah, after you've made 40 moves, then you can save the games to tape. And it gives us some playing tips right here. And you're going to need them. It's a very, very difficult game. If you don't find the vampire's treasure in the first few games, don't despair. It has been done, but it's not easy. Okay, does everyone get that one? Yes, the vault does have lore. Let's pop in and play the Tomb of Dracula. This is by Movie Drome Video. And also later by Felix Software at sometime in October 1982. This is going to be released later on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. I believe we'll see it sometime in 1983. Since this is the first game that has been titled Dracula, I want... Oh gosh, there he is! He flashes on the screen when you first boot it up. You're at the entrance of the south wall of Dracula's tomb. It's 30 minutes to sunset. To see the plan, press 1. Now, when I press 1, this game has lots of loading, and I'm going to do a little bit of fast forwarding, but the loading is one of the things that drags this game down. It would be a really cool experience if it went a little faster. So what you're seeing is the real-time wait just to get to the map, to see what the map looks like. We're still waiting. Yes. That's right, Manly. If you save it to tape and the tape stops working, you lose everything. All right, so study carefully. Everyone memorize. Quick, make some notes on paper. All the pluses are the stakes. G's are ghouls. Let's go make our way to the stakes. So if we go north all the way, we can get to that one. Okay, I think I got it. Yes. Oh, it might if we added even more RAM to this one. This one already is more beefy than you would have had in 1982. So if this one's already going slow, then it was pretty slow affair. To step into the tomb, press 1. Welcome. You've entered the Tomb of Dracula. The door closes behind you. Good luck. You have 7 silver stakes worth 1,750 pounds. Which way will you move? North, east, south, or west? So if we head east, all I got to do is hit E on the keyboard. So there's really not a text parser per se. I'm just pushing one letter. So we're at level 1 of the tomb. You have 7 silver stakes, and I believe there's 3 levels total if you want to make it through the whole thing. Which direction will you move? Okay, so it's keeping track of the silver stakes, and it's basing them on price. So it's like the silver stakes are worth money, and if you have enough at the end, then you'll have more money. Essentially, it's like points. Okay, so which direction do we want to go? Let's go north. It's an empty vault, and I expected that. All right, so let's go again, north. So we're slowly making our way through that top-down maze that we saw, but it is going to give us flashes of a 3D maze. It's almost like this is a pseudo-adventure 3D maze hybrid, because it doesn't feel as fluid as some of the other 3D maze games we played. Okay, so we're still level 1. Let's head north. In. I got to really push down hard. You can see we're moving north, going vault at a time, and we saw it was plenty empty vaults, but I want to get to some of the silver stakes. All right, go north. I want to have a lot of those because when Dracula shows up, we need to make sure we have it. Yes, it's so easy to screenshot now, Curtis. 25 minutes to sunset. So that means we made 5 steps. Okay, keep going north. I call it 3D maze, but it's not really maze. It's not really a really difficult maze. Okay, go north. Keep going. Empty vaults all the way. Do you want to see your position on the plan? And it will cost us 5 of our 36 silver stakes. So we can use, we have 36 stakes. I don't know why we have 36, but you can use 5 and you can see the top-down position. I know where the stakes are, so I'm going to keep going. I'm going to say no. No. So I essentially just have to push 1 key on the keyboard. Let's keep moving north. I want to try to get as many stakes as possible to be ready when Dracula shows up. We have 36 silver stakes still, worth 9,000 pounds. Keep going north. I'm moving my way to the center of the map of level 1. Oh, there it is, the mystery vault. What will happen? It's a store of silver stakes, just like we saw on the map, and we found 37. Oh my goodness, we have 73 stakes? That's so many. I can't believe, how many Draculas are here? There's only one Count Dracula, right? All right, now I don't know which direction. I forget what is next. Let's head east and see what happens. All right, so here you go. We're turning in the east door. You can see there is an empty vault. Let's keep going east. All right, 20 minutes till sunset. It's getting creepy. This one is a slower affair, but this style of game kind of reminds me of 3D Monster Maze that we played on the ZX81 earlier this year. That one was faster paced, action oriented. This one gives me vibes of playing Hunt the Wumpus, or kind of like Hunt the Wumpus. Do you want to see your position on the plan? Yes. It'll cost 10 silver stakes. I don't know if we should. Manly's already saying 4 for this. Awesome. All right, so we're paying the money. I don't know who we're paying to, but we're giving the silver stakes so we can see the map. I know that we went just straight up north and then east, but I don't know where the ghouls are because you'd have to fight them. And by fighting, it's just a random chance to see if you survive or not. All right, here, I'm still... it's the map. Maybe it's something with the map that takes so long to load. There it is. Okay, our asterisk is there. We can go north twice for the silver stakes, and then we have mystery vaults that we could check out too. Okay, so we last moved east. Yeah, I can see now. We'll go north twice, get some more stakes, and hopefully Dracula doesn't show up yet. All right. And then I don't know, haven't have a plan after that. I also need to refer to the manual to see what the equals stand for. Okay, so here we go. Which direction you want to move? Let's go north. We have so many silver stakes still. Okay, facing east, moving north. Empty vault. Yep, and move north again. Still got 63 silver stakes for 63 vampires. Yes, we found 8 silver stakes. And if you're thinking of this as random elements, yes. Every time you play this game, it's going to be a random experience where things are in the vaults. And notice when it said stakes, we got 6 that time. So it's random with those two. All right, so let's move north again. Moving north. Empty vault. All right, so how much time do we have? I think we were almost running out of steps. All right, let's go north again. Still moving our way around. We got a staircase. This means we're going, it leads down. Oh, we're going down to level 2. As we go down, we collect 14 stakes. So I didn't know we were going to do a staircase. This means we're going to level 2. It's now getting harder. The level 1 was kind of like a introductory sequence of what the game's like. Level 2 starts adding enemies. There, another 15 minutes. So 15 more steps, I believe. All right, so just because I want to be prepared, it's going to explain in here what the levels are like. Yes, there's a staircase leads. Oh, it may lead to the vampire's treasure. So, okay, we should have done the staircase. That was good. Rather than getting 200 pounds and for passing Go in Monopoly, each time you go to a low level, you receive a bonus of silver stakes. Okay, so we did get the bonus. Nice. And then does it say what... it doesn't say what level 2's like. I thought the instructions would have something for us. All right, we might just see Dracula then. You've, of course, already going 4.5. I love the chats. All right, so which direction are we going to move now? Let's go north. Actually, we have no idea what we're looking at. Level 2 is a completely new map. All right, we're moving north. It's an empty vault. We'll keep going north. Good, looks all right. Uh-oh, yep, we've fallen in the slime pit. You need 32 stakes to get out of the slime pit? I'm glad we got 85. Okay, we only have 53 silver stakes. This is the strangest currency for a video game we've played so far. All right, let's keep moving north. You can't go north. The tomb's outer wall is there. Okay, so west. So that means we reach the very top of level 2. Uh-oh. We've fallen in... Uh-oh, how many does it take to get out of the slime pit? 26 stakes! We'll have to keep going east. Hopefully there's no more slime pits. Keep moving east. Good. Yes. Oh, another one. No! We're going to run out of stakes. How many do we need? 24? All right, I'm going to head south. We only have 3. I don't know how big this pit is. All right, empty vault. Only another 10 minutes. It's so tricky. Do you want to see your position? It's going to cost you 0. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Give me it. You don't have to use any stakes. I'll take it. Yeah, this feels very much like Hunt the Wumpus. But right now, there is no Wumpus. There's no Dracula. So we're just surviving. Trying to get to the treasure as fast as we can and then get out. But you have to go through all 3 levels and then survive. And every time you pull up the map, not only are you having to pay stakes, you have to pay time. All right, where are we? Oh, there it is, the 2 slime pits. Okay, I see it. So we could go west to see what's in the mystery vault. We got a ghoul to the east. I'm going to go south and then west after that. And then we got a few zombies to watch out for. Okay, I think I got it. So we'll go south and west a couple times. Yeah, I'm really enjoying the chat and the ratings that are being thrown out because at this time, this would be a fun game to play with other people. usually behind your shoulder. All right, so let's head south. Moving south. That's the empty vault. Now we'll head west. Should be smooth sailing for about 3 tiles. Empty vault. What we need is silver stakes. There's west again. And west again. What? Do you want to see your position? Oh, yeah, it costs us nothing, but I actually don't want to waste the time. All right, let's keep going west. Still going. And you can also get a sense of, oh, it went too far. It's the zombie. You need 2 stakes. Oh, wow, we barely made it. So you can see how the battles work. All it says is, what do you need? It randomly says how many stakes you need, looks at how many stakes you actually have, and then whether you win or lose. And very, very easy. Yes, right? Okay, so I forget which direction we need to go now. I'm going to say north, away from the zombie. Yep, empty vault. Still 5 minutes? I feel like we've taken enough steps already. But you get an idea of how long it takes for Dracula to show up. All right, so which direction? Let's go west. This still is fun. It's just slower paced. I really enjoyed more immensely Hunt the Wumpus on the Texas Instrument home computer. Yeah. So yeah, Curtis has already thrown out 3.5, maybe 4. Oh yeah, if this was for the ZX81 alone, I would easily say 4 stars. Oh really? That's awesome. Okay, so which direction you want to move now? Let's go west again. I believe it still should be empty vault. If they let us see the map, then I would look for stakes and move to that position. All right, let's go west again. They haven't let us do it yet. And we don't even have Dracula. When Dracula shows up, then you have someone following you around, and if you pick the wrong direction, it's like random. He'll like jump scare you. All right, so let's keep going west. Sweet. All right, 1 silver stake. Which direction? I also like the originality. It's mixing a few things and elements for adventure games. And oh, the mystery vault. Yes, it is. It's a store of silver stakes, but we only rolled 2. Uh-oh, the sun is set. Dracula is awake. Beware. So now we only have 3 silver stakes. We'll keep going west. I believe after the mystery vault was an empty vault. Yes. Gonna have a really good memory here in October 1982, unless you really rapidly wrote everything down. Uh-oh, we fall in the slime pit. We need 22 stakes to get out, and I believe that would be you are dead. We got to level 2. We survived 31 vaults. Okay, yeah, so after 30 vaults is when Dracula's awake. Yes. So cool. So we didn't get jump scared, but you have an idea of what the game's like to play. I really did enjoy Hunt the Wumpus, the graphical version of it, and this one has very similar elements to that game. However, we're not really hunting Dracula. He's more of an enemy. I love this concept, this premise, the way it works and plays, just a little bit slower paced. It'd get a higher rating if everything went a little faster, because bear in mind, we are going a little quicker than what it would be like in 1982. So for 3D maze games, this one is pretty fun. It's not a true 3D maze game. It's something different. It's a little hybrid. So of all the games you could play right now across all home computers, it's a fun affair. I'm going to actually go a little bit higher than 3.5, a little bit higher than average, and say 3.5 stars. This is well done. It's a fun time, just a little bit too slow. And looking over the chat, I see some people rating this really, really high. I would be rating this higher too, if only we got a little bit faster speeds. It feels like compared to all the other games across all home computers, it's slower, just slower to load. All right, so with that marks the end of this episode of Chronologically Gaming. We got to put a pause on our video games or save it to tape, and hopefully your tape doesn't get messed up. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining me, playing every single video game across all platforms. Be sure to tune in next time on Chronologically Gaming. There's another building burning, and this time there are people inside. We have to save them. And it looks like we are not done in Video Game Transylvania, but this time it's against Count Creepy? That's it for today, and like I always say, do you know where we can play some video games? Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and Maine. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.